All right, Shalom. This is Officer Karafa from the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Make sure you watch our classes, man. At the I.S.U.P.K. United Kingdom. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday. And Saturday also with the Sabbath service. 7 to 9, 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW in Birmingham. We have classes every Tuesday from London by Officer Shamgar. Classes on Monday 7 to 9. Classes on Wednesday 7 to 9. Thursday 7 to 9. And Friday 9 to 11. Also Saturday 11 to 12. You know what I mean? So make sure you look out for those classes as well, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the classes. Make sure you look us up at I.S.U.P.K. United Kingdom on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google My Business. Anything else I want? Nah? That's all of them, all the platforms that we're on. Shalom to Just Art and Pay, my God, shout a Muff. Yeah, we get into it. I don't know any videos on the racial abuse from the football match yesterday. Anything screenshot. So as you know, yesterday, man, England lost the UEFA, man. The Euros, they lost the Euros game. The Euros game is like the World Cup, but not the World Cup. You know what I mean? Instead of the whole world competing, it's all the European countries, man. Your France, your Germany, your Italy, Denmark, and so forth. England lost, man. England was doing so good. Went to the finals. Haven't been in the finals since 1966, man. You know what I mean? That's the back of some black players that got to the finals, man. And then yesterday they was in penalties, and every penalty that they lost was because of what? 2 brothers and one guy who's dark, man, who's melanated. So you know what I mean? They consider him a black man. So yeah. So what happened was now all the hooligans and all the social media people, you know, saying black this, you black people this, which we knew was coming, man. Which we knew was coming. So we gotta get some history, show you that listen, black people always get blamed for the downfall of England, man. It's always been that way. You know what I mean? We don't get blamed when we do good for England. But we get blamed when something wrong goes, man. As per usual. You know what I mean? Could be the people that one. Share it for me as well.
All right. So we have racist and violent behavior by England fans.
Look at that. It says racist and violent behavior by England fans, man. By England fans. Black people were the reason why you went to the final in the first place, man. Had it not been for black people, there would be no final to lose. And now they want to be racist, man. We showed you this. Like what the Bible says, never trust your enemies, man. When you were taken to the finals, you was British, man. When you were taken to the finals, they were screaming and saying, football's coming home. Yeah, it's coming home. And now, all of a sudden, you're a nigger again, man. You need to go home again, man. Keep it in.
Fans leave Twitter disgusted. The short picture.
Look at it. That's the fans, man. Facing off with the police, angry or pissed off because Italy won. You know what I mean? All on Twitter calling Marcus Rashford all types of names, man. Calling Raheem Sterling all types of names. Calling Sancho all types of names, man. Over a game, man. Over a game. And these are grown people, man. They should feel ashamed of themselves. I got children, and every time they lose a game, what do I tell them? Listen, it's only a game, man. I got children that cry over games just like how these fans are crying over a game, man. I got children that are 4, 5, and 6 that cry just like this every time they lose on Mario Kart, man. And I gotta tell them, listen, it's just a game, man. You got grown men crying like my 6-year-old children, man. Over a game. Keep it in.
New Delhi. Several England football fans resorted to violence.
Man, look at this, man. Fans, grown men, man. Grown men with mortgage and bills to pay, man. A fight said resorted over what? Said fans resorted to violence. Grown men resorted to violence and bottle throwing and kicking and name calling over a game that you lost, man. Why are you fighting when the players ain't fighting? The players are getting paid, ain't fighting. You ain't getting paid, man. You ain't getting paid. You ain't getting paid meals like you ain't getting paid 10 grand a week. 100 grand a week like some of these players, man. You're broke, man. Living in the council estates, man. Living in parts of living in the slums of Blackpool, man. You know what I mean? Living in the pub, man. Fighting and throwing bottles and stuff, man. We're gonna show you how. Listen, England has always never appreciated black people's hard work, man. Keep it
in. Violence and racial abuse.
And what?
Racial abuse.
And racial abuse, man. I thought everybody was human. I thought Rashford was just a human being. I thought you don't see color, man. You don't see color until Rashford loses a goal, man. When Rashford was giving kids food, no one saw money, man. Rashford fed what? White people, man. Poor white people, poor black people, poor Asian people. The only people that don't see color is black people, man. You know why? Because we're so loving, man. We're so loving and kind and merciful. But your people see color, man. When Rashford missed that penalty, it wasn't, oh, I hate Rashford, man. It was, I hate that nigga, man. I hate that black bastard, man. You let us know, listen, we hate Rashford because he's black. Meanwhile, Rashford, he don't hate you. He fed your starving kids, man. When your government wouldn't feed them, when Boris Johnson wouldn't feed them, Rashford fed them, man, out of his own pocket. How can you hate a man like that, man? That's because black men, they got a perpetual hatred for you, man. And it's in the Bible. Keep it in.
Players and fans of a colour bore the burnt of both online and physical attacks.
And he said that black people had what? Online and physical attacks, man. So some black people got attacked by some devils, man. Listen, man. Let some devil attack me over some game, man. Trust me, I'm not having it, man. Over some football game. Listen, I ain't having it, man. Trust me. I'm not Rashford, man. So luck you. I ain't Raheem Sterling, man. I don't have no funky, crazy hairstyle, man. You ain't gonna go nice, man. So luck. So that's all I gotta say, man. You know what I mean? Rashford, Raheem Sterling. If it wasn't for these brothers anyway, you wouldn't be in no finals, man. You know what I mean? Every World Cup, every Euros, England win like 3-4 games in and out, man. I know, given that they usually win the first 2 games. England's never out first 2 tries. I lie. In the out, man. We're the reason why you could go to the pubs and go to another game and book the Sunday off and book this week off and talk about it in the pub. Yo, so what? The defense coming on. We're the reason, man. Usually you play 2 games and you're out, man. You gone home. We're the reason. We gave you a good run, man. We gave you a good time, man. Shut up, man. You know what I mean? You went so far. You got to go to work and talk about it, and you know everyone got to bring out the peanuts and the lager in the pub, man. You know what I mean? We're the reason why you got to do that, man. Usually you don't get that satisfaction, man. Usually you gotta watch France go in the finals, man. You gotta watch Germany go in the finals, man. You went to the finals, man. Enjoy it, man. We brought you there, man. And if we decide that we're gonna miss this goal, then we're gonna miss this goal, man. This game is in our hands, man. If we decide that, you know what, after the whole Windrush thing, I'm looking to just flap this penalty, man. Then we would do so, man. Because the game, we took you there in the first place. We took you to the finals in the first place. You can't be mad at a man if he borrows your card and takes the car back. It's his car, man. You can't be mad at us if we take you so far and think, you know what, we're not playing no more. Keep it in.
From disgraceful English fans who couldn't withstand the defeat. And
from fans that couldn't withstand the defeat, man. They couldn't take the defeat, man. You know what also they couldn't withstand as well? The racial abuse, man. It all too much came out. You black. Come on, man. Had to come out, man. They couldn't hold it no more. So like any more on that?
Yeah, there's some videos of them fighting.
Oh man, look at these devils, man. Grown men fighting over a game, man. Oh god. Oh god, grow up, man. Oh, come on, man. It's crazy because when people think about England, people outside of England think about England and they think, oh, they're so prestige. The Queen and crumpets and tea and the posh and they got good grammar. Listen, you don't know the half, man. This really is England, man. People with missing teeth, man. People that drink lagers and, you know, bad grammar and fight over football games. This is real England, man. You don't know England, man. In fact, in England, there's no one that really even speaks like the Queen, man. Posh people are rare, man. Your average white man, this is your average oppressor, man. Just like this, man, a hooligan, man. People jumping over barriers. I heard for the finals because they didn't want to buy tickets. So it was just writing, man. Trashed their own country. Always talking about, oh, people are ruining our country. You trashed Wembley, man. You was in London, you trashed Wembley, man. The place was mashed up by the time it was finished, man. Look at that, man. You mashed up your own country, man. Any more on that?
This the oggish and xenophobic display from England fans left Twitter aghast, with many labeling them as sore losers.
And the Bible said this is the article said this is thuggish behavior, man. They're going around saying that what Raheem Sterling's a thug, he got the gun on his leg. You're the thug, man. You're the criminal, man. You're the gangster, man, walking around fighting people over a game. Imagine there's a man walking around with his child, man, who actually come to enjoy the game, and you bottle him, man. You're the thug, man. But they never say Raheem Sterling's a thug because he got a tattoo on his leg. Raheem Sterling ain't shooting nobody. He ain't shooting nobody, man. You're out there harming little kids, man. Harming fathers that go to watch a game. Throwing bottles and bricks at a man that's just come to watch a game, man. You're the thug, man. Not Raheem Sterling. Anymore.
Yeah. I'll get to tweets. Yeah, so this is from a guy called Paul Gascoigne.
And this is a tweet from a man called Paul Gascoigne.
Just saw this on Snapchat. Stay safe tomorrow, guys.
So this guy saw this on Snapchat and he captioned it, guys, stay safe. Meaning black people, be careful, man.
And this is it. These niggas have lost us the Euros.
And this is the least, man. This is the least. I've seen loads of chats and loads of snaps, man. Said these niggas have lost us the game. You know what I mean? I think an Italian guy must have dragged Saka by his t-shirt, man. And somebody turned it to a meme. You know what I mean? It's a meme of they captioned the frame of Saka getting dragged by his t-shirt, and in the back is a cotton field, man, with a slave master, and they put the Italian football player, they put like a straw hat on him, like he's an overseer, and you caption, "Oh, get back in the field, man." And remember, had we won this game, guess what? We would have been the nicest people in the earth, man. Thank you for winning. Thank you. But when we lose, when we can't do nothing for them, this is how to treat black people, man. Any more on that?
So they've turned into game goes Monday, 12th July is push a nigga day. 5 points, spit at a nigga. 10 points, punch a nigga.
So it's a Monday the 12th, which is today. They made some game, you know what I mean, called punish a nigga, man. Saying 5 points if you spit at a nigga, 10 points if you hit a nigga, and whatever the case may be, man. But again, man, it's lucky. They didn't want to play that game up here, man. You know what I mean? That game will cost them their life, man. So lucky. Any more on that? All right, no sweat. Okay, so give me the one back the audience. You got a screen share it. So again, I'm gonna show you the history where England blame black people. It's going over there, man. So we start before that. So first and foremost, the Windrush, the brothers from the islands fought for England in World War I and II, man. You know what I mean? Many brothers, man, fought in the Royal Air Force and helped England against Germany, man. Helped England against the Nazis, man. And when after helping England win World War I and II, the white man said, "What? Go home now, man." When last you seen a black man with a picture with his medals? He don't have them. Why? Because in England, he was poor. I had to sell them medals, man. That's why you don't see black people with their medals. And England, guess what? England used them like they use them in the World Cup today, man. So we'll go home. And likewise with the World Cup, England, it was all good, man. But England was winning them penalties and playing them goals and making England qualify and go through the semi-finals to the finals and the knockouts and, you know, go to the even take it to the penalties, man. But once there's no use for you, yeah, man, go home, man. And they did that in World War One, man. Get me the article in that, please, for sure. The World War One and Two one, Bob Kashar. Shalom to James, shalom to Hadassah, Yana Kwaf, Shawapar. Any question, make sure you type it in, man, and we'll answer for you.
All right, we got from the History Press.co.uk.
And if you could just screenshot that picture real quick so that you can see what I'm watching. And look at this one, the first one. Look at this picture right here, man. This is something that they don't show in schools, man. I've been in England from I was born, going to history class, and they never show you this in history, man. Look at that. Look at all them black faces, man, fighting for England, man. World War One and World War Two. And guess what? England weren't crying when they needed our help, man. They had nothing to say when they needed our help, man. And now, 78 years later, let's not talk about them in the school system, man. Don't put that picture up, man. We gotta dig on Google to get a picture, man. We gotta dig in the archives of the library to get a picture, man. But where's your appreciation for what we done, man? Where's your appreciation? We took you far into the finals, man. We should at least get a thank you. But no, you didn't win for us, so nah, man. We scored goals for you, and you didn't put our face on the news, man. When Harry Kane scored one goal, not the winning goal, just an extra goal, it was already 1-0. Harry Kane just made it 2-0, man. You put his face on the papers, man. That's how they treat. That's how you treat black people and been treating black people. That's why we ain't surprised, man. There's an old saying, man. Said history repeats itself, man. What's saying? You learn from your history. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been, man. And we know where we've been in the I.S.U.P.K. That's why we don't trust our oppressor, man. Keep it in.
10 things you didn't know about Britain's black community during the world wars.
And the Bible goes 10 things you didn't know about Britain's black community in the world wars. See, 10 things you wouldn't know. Why won't you know this? Because your presser won't teach this, man. Your presser would never speak about it, man. 100 years from now, you're going to be reading about the match that we saw last night, man. And you're going to say, wow, England was in the semi-finals in 2021. Yeah, man, you're going to read about history, just like how you read about history about England was in England won the World Cup in 1966. Just like how you read about England won the Nazis. Just like how you read about, England and the Great War of Normandy. You're going to read about today. And guess what? They're not going to mention that black people took them to the semi-finals, man. 100 years from now, you're going to read, people are going to be blowing dust off books. And wow, do you know England was in the semi-finals, 100 years ago? Wow. And they didn't be in the semi-finals from 1966. They're going to miss out the part that black people brought them there. And white people are going to feel so proud. And wow, man, that's good, man. 100 years from now, you're going to read about, forget 100 years. Today, you can read about World War I and II. And British people feel so proud and wow, we won the Nazis. What was a glorious day, man. They're going to pull out all the books and all the records. And in them books, it's not going to mention the slaves that helped them win, man. 100 years from now, you're going to read about England had the gold medal for racing. England had the gold medal for long distance. And they ain't going to mention that Linford Christie got it to them. You're going to read 100 years from now. Granny, I didn't know 100 years from now. I didn't know 100 years ago, England had the gold medal in boxing. Wow, we are a great country, man. And they ain't not gonna tell you that Lennox Lewis got you that gold medal in boxing, and Nigel Benn got you that gold medal, and Frank Bruno got you that gold medal, and Linford Christie got you that gold medal, man. That's what they do. Just like with World War I and II, you think England's so great. White people walk around with the chest pumped up, man. Yeah, man, we won the Nazis, a victory. And don't speak about how black people let them win that country, man. That same country that they want to evict us out from and deport us. It wouldn't be England if it wasn't for us. This would be a colony of Germany, man, if it wasn't for us. And likewise, black man, you gotta be careful, man. Even with these heathen, England, not just us, mainly us, because we're the greatest, man. But England even takes the credit from some of these heathens, man. Just like Rome had all nations in their army, man. And 100 years from now, you're gonna say, yo, we won the long distance, man. They're not gonna mention that some Hamite called Mo Farah did it, man. You're going to think a British man did it, man. And you're going to think, yeah, my people are so great. I put out the history of my people did this and that. And guess what? White people are going to think they're so great, man. Like how they think they're great today because they read about World War I and II, and they see little black and white movies where white men are in the trenches with their helmet on, man. When really that is a lie. It did not go like that, man. It's like it's a
And one example of that, as you said, 100 years ago, even almost 1,000 years ago, with the Dark Ages, already everyone believes those people are white.
there you go.
You can't convince them otherwise that don't please. And that will be, you give it 100 years, every Israelite that done something now, when you mention they're black, people are gonna think you are crazy.
That's right. Well, like what the other one said, man. Like today, you think Christ is white, the angels are white, King James is white. When they're black people, why they whitewash history, man? And you're walking around thinking that everything that is great is white, and it's not, man. It's like so show them the icons on the wall. This is what I'm gonna show you something called Russian icons, man. These are the icons that was found in Russia. Of all the black images, man. If you could get the top one first. Can you get the top one? Anyway, can you move a little bit? You can't pull the what's it called? The chair bit. Where with those? We'll show the top one first. And look at the top one, the very top one. The very top picture is a Greek Orthodox, what's his name? Priest. And in the background, you see a black image of Christ, man. Then if you look to his right, you see him painting over it, making it white. But the one in the background, he ain't touched yet. And what color is the picture in the one that he ain't touched? Black. And there's one behind him that's also black. But the one that he's painting is white. That's what they do, man. They change history, man. They change history and say, yeah, England did this, man. And white people did this, man. Show me some icons that ain't been touched. Look at that there. Christ and his 12 disciples, all black. More black images of the angels. There's some angels move to the left a bit. Christ and disciples again. Go down. That's King James right there, man. A black man called King James, who they lied and said he was a homosexual when he weren't, man. And that's what they do. They rearrange history, man. So like it's sorry about that. You put it back here. And guess what? Let me tell you something else, black man. 100 years from now, England, white people brought England to the semi-finals. 100 years from now, a white man got England the gold medal in racing and track and field. 100 years from now, a white man got all them gold medals in boxing. What else the black people do? 100 years from now, guess what? It was a white man that came out of his own pocket and fed poor children in England, man. And, you mark my words, man.
And Brian, you will not be facing.
There you go. Oh, other ones. Right to the words back my mouth, man. 100 years from now, H is gonna blow up. RD is gonna blow up. And guess what? White MCs were the greatest thing to come out of England, man. In fact, they invented it. They did it all themselves. Give me that in Job, Forges of Lies. Job 13:4, Bob Kushar.
Job 13:4.
In fact, we did the mic in there because man can hear me, can't you? You cloudy, but it's computer mic. Yeah, computer one. No, down. Stereo mix of it also? I think so, yeah.
One.
Try that one. Move that back a bit so I can get some mic.
Yeah.
Go on, sir.
All right, Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies.
And this is what the Most High said about the oppressor, man. He's a forger of lies. A forger is someone that makes something, man. Like you forge, what's it called? You forge like what, fake £5 notes. You made £5 notes, man. That's what a person's forged out of lies, man. They lie, they make up lies, man. And I ain't talking about little white lies. I'm talking about lies that go down in history, man. I'm talking about lies like Christ is white, the angels are white. I'm talking about lies like the black man's African. I'm talking about big lies like that, man. That's what the Lone Ranger was a black man. Look at the history, man. Few else in history was black that they don't talk about, man. There was many people in history that was black. All the inventions were made by black people, man. It would make sense that black people made these inventions. All these black people was out there doing the work. When you're working, if you're working, what are you doing? You're trying to find a way to make your job less stressful, man. Why would an oppressor make an invention? When he got it good. He got it good. The oppressor's job is to make money. He wants to kick back, make you cut the cane, you cut the cotton, and collect the money. You're the one on the cane foot, man. Finding new ways to get the cane and make it easy for yourself, man. And black people made all these inventions, and guess what? The oppressor goes, no, you never. I made it. Lewis V. Lattimore made the light bulb, man. And Thomas Edison said, no, I made it, man. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. I stole the patent off him also. Stole the patent off him, man. Black people made the light bulb, the fridge, the telephone, and the oppressor goes, no, you never. I made it, man. And you can research these things, man. You ain't got to dig up and find no bones and no archaeology. You can research it, man. But your oppressor's a forger of a lie. And they still teach in school that Thomas Edison found the light bulb, man. After history says he stole it, you know what? They're liars, man. They are liars, man. It's 100 years from now. All the great things that happen in England is going to be whitewashed, man. All going to be white. This is the Windrush. It's going to be the white men. They came back and rebuilt this country, man. It's going to all come back like that. And everything bad is going to be black people, man. You mark my words, man. It's happened already. It hasn't even been 100 years, man. It's happening already, man. You mark my words. Everything black's going to be whitewashed. Just like how they whitewashed the images on the wall. Just like how they said the angels were white when we know according to the Bible they're black. Just like how black people took England to the World Cup, but what did they do? They put the white man on the front cover, man. Put Harry Kane on the front cover, man. They're going to do the exact same thing with everything else, man. Anything else?
Forgers of lies. What's it? 13 and... Job 13 and...
4.
Ye are all physicians of no value.
And they're doctors of no value, man. They don't have, you go to the church, a church is a physician, someone that house people, they're no value, man. You go to the church that house, you come out singing, man. So yeah. You go to the church with a drug problem, you come out dancing, man, with a drug problem. You go into the church a sexual deviant, you come out a wet sexual deviant, man, because you've been baptized, man. You go to the church a murderer, you come out a murderer, a wet murderer, man. You go to the church a drug dealer, you come out a drug dealer with the same chain, same gold chain, man. The same Jesus piece. In fact, you come out refreshed. You come out, a murderer, but pastor told me it ain't so bad after all. Because their doctors are no use, man. They don't fix people. At the UPK, we actually fix people, man. That's right. Go back to the I don't know. And D-Dubs, you're right, man. The fabricators, man. You know what I mean? All throughout history, there's lies and all that. They can't stop lying, man. Like the Bible goes about the devil and the father of lies. The murder, the carbs up, man. There's always lying, man. You watch a movie on watch 10 Commandments. The Egyptians are white and the Hebrews are white, man. Everybody's white, man. The good guy, the bad guy. God damn, man. You watch a Steven Seagal movie. Steven Seagal goes to China, man. Goes to China and his kung fu better than the Chinese, man.
You do from that.
You watch 8 Mile. Eminem is a better rapper than all these black people. When rapping is in our blood, we made it, man. And all these movies with white people, see, white people are the best, man. We can go to any country we want. And yeah, man, we can dominate them, man. Look at Karate Kid, man. Karate Kid's a little white kid, man, that goes to China and dominates the Chinese kids in their own martial arts, man. They've been doing it for years, man. 8 Mile's a movie where one white man goes to the ghetto, man. When black man was born freestyling and kills them all effortlessly, man. Effortlessly, like this is nothing, man. You don't want me to take time. Save Last Dance. The move back from white girl from the suburbs, man, that comes to the black community and learns our culture and learns how to dance and does it better than all the black people, man. That's why they are forged of lies, man. They are liars, man. And these lies make their kids proud and get their chest puffed up and feel like they're somebody, man. It's like it's a
Nah, it's heavy that you said that, because in life, when a white person can't beat you at something, it hurts them so bad because they believe that they really should be able to.
That's
Like
right.
when you're better than them on like a course or just anything in life, it really affects them. Like, right, like this person is better than me, and they make it obvious because all their life they've been told they are better than everybody else.
And you're right, sir. You're absolutely right, man. Just like in the book of Esther, man. Haman was a white man, an oppressor that hated Mordecai, man. Why? So because Mordecai didn't show him respect, man. And that's what it is. The white man wants to be the best at rapping, the best at dancing, the best at this, the best at that. And when you're like, nah, I don't rate him in him. You're like, why? How dare you say that? What? Are you racist? Nah, I don't rate him. I'm just rating, man. The oppressor wants, he even wants your love, man. Something that ain't entitled to him. We don't have to like them. And they even want that also. When you don't, it's a problem, man. And you read the book of Esther, man. Haman got Mordecai dead just because he liked him. The whole world liked him, man. And Mordecai said, Mordecai was a Benjamin. I was like, nah, man, I'm not really. I don't even feel him, man. And for that, that's why Haman couldn't sleep at night, man. Haman wanted him dead. So like he said.
No sweat. Fact number one: Britain's black community played an important part in the First and Second World Wars.
So the black people played a significant part, man, a big role, man, an important role. We weren't in the background. We weren't some people that were refueling planes. We had a little role. We had a big role in World War One and World War Two, man. So how can someone with a big role like this not be spoken of every year, man?
That's right.
How come every November 11, I don't see nobody mention black people, man? How come every November 11, I don't see no one making a speech about black people? In fact, how come at the memorial at the cenotaph in Whitehall, London, I don't see black people there, man? Because just like with football, just like with history, their job is to take you out of that, man, and make the world think that they did it by themselves. That's their job. They want the world to think they did it all by themselves. 100 years from now, you're going to be watching 8 Mile, and you're going to be like, wow, Eminem's the greatest rapper, man. Do you see how he's dominating niggas? That was easy. You ever see Stevenson get in China and cry and go, wow, do you see the white man just went to China and killed all the Chinese people? Wow, he's so great, man. You ever watch the cowboy western movies and see one oppressor kill thousands of Dadaist men? And say, wow, the white man, he really is something. You see he killed all them savages with one spinners, with a little revolver. Wow. And that's what they do, man. They forge things and forge lies, and over a process of time, it makes it like he's a victim, man. So like
Just off the back of that, regarding the cowboys, the same author that wrote Blacks and Indians, she wrote another book. And really, in those cowboy films, when you see the gunfight in the bar, it was actually black men that done it. And the reason why they did is because they helped out some a white men, and they never got a paid, or one of their friends died. So they went in the bar, went by the bar, pretended to buy drinks. Then they span around and shot all the white people in the bar. And that was such a big thing back then in the West, that based in the cowboy films they make now, they also have that gun scene in the bar from what those black men did.
And it wouldn't surprise me, man. The Lone Ranger is a cowboy, and look at history, the Lone Ranger was a black man. Betty Boo was also a black woman, man. The Lone Ranger was a black man. Listen, come on, man. Come on, listen. You're not gonna tell me the cowboys are some cool, smooth guys, man. White men, oppressors are not smooth like that, man. Ain't no oppressor spinning no gun in his finger, man, and then pointing it and shoot at people's legs, making them dance, man. That's how black people move, man. You don't tell me no oppressors smooth like that, man. And they took your culture. They said, research the Buffalo Soldiers, man. The Buffalo Soldiers was brothers, man, like Judites and Benjamites, who the oppressor used to fight against our brothers, the Gadites, man. Pay them to fight against the Gadites, man. Those were the cowboys right there, man. And they took the culture, man. took your culture, how smooth you were, man. Spinning your gun on your index finger. I made movies out of it, man. I made Clint Eastwood rich, man. You're the one who's quick on the draw, man. I'll press a quick on the draw, man. Yeah, faster. You can't reach from the hip like that, man. That's how we do it, man. And they, again, stole your history. And now it's their history, man. Now they're the Cowboys, and now they're on the back of horses doing tricks, man. You know what I mean? That's us, man.
That's right.
Keep it in.
During World War One, King George V wanted to show the world a united empire in wartime. So
King George had an empire. The empire, what? The Caribbean, Australia, all these countries that England conquered, man. But when it comes to wartime, he wanted them to be united, man. That sounds familiar. When it comes to wartime, he wants them to be united, man. When it comes to, yo, Mr. White Man, can I come to England and make some money? No, stay in Jamaica, man. You're not one of us. But when it comes to wartime, you want a united empire, man. Does that sound familiar to you? Does that sound familiar to you? Black people live a whole life on you niggas are, you Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, they're thugs, they're terrorists, they tear down statues. But when it comes to football, yeah, man, you're British, man. You're British now, man. Come kick a ball for our team. We don't see colours, you're British, man. England was deporting the Windrush like crazy last year, man. But he was still ain't even born on British soil, man. But you one of us, so you could play for us, man. Does that sound familiar? And King Edward did the same thing, man. You're not one of us. Go back home, you gallywags. But I need your help, man. We're losing by the Germans. Listen, you're one of us, man. The empire, man. Listen, you're part of the empire, man. You're one of us now, man. And that's how they use us. That's how they've always been using black people, man. The same thing when it came to the Windrush, man. Come support. Your country needs you. Come fix your country. And after that, go back home, man. We don't need you no more, man. We need come help fix the underground, man. Once that's done, listen, go home, we don't need you, man. That's how they treat black people, man. That's how they treat black people in the UK. They play us, man. They play us like how you play a woman. You want some money for a woman, not me. It's like, I don't need money, but some men are like, yeah, man, what I mean? I'm begging for money, man. You're good, isn't it? And then when you get the money, you don't see him for months, man. That's how England play us, man, like this one, gal, man. Now it's time we fix up, man. Let them find their own wars, but let them win their own World Cup, man. How about we band together and start our own league? Keep it in.
Yeah, that's pretty true, yeah. United Empire in wartime. In October 1915, the British West Indies Regiment, or BWIR, was established as a separate black unit within the British Army.
And look at that, man. They hate you so much, black man. They had a black unit in the army. I thought we were all one, man. They couldn't even stomach you. Had a unit for black people. Like, yeah, this is a unit for black people. You couldn't. I thought it would go one empire. There shouldn't be no unit. It should be the British unit for all people, man. Well, black man, guess what? They want you to be your own unit, man. You can't go in there, man. Why would you even fight in an army like this, man? Imagine that I'm doing you a favor. When I come to your army, like, yeah, I don't know, go sit over there with the rest of your brothers, man. Keep it in.
Was established, the BWIR accommodated growing numbers of volunteers.
Look at that, man. Volunteers, man. These brothers weren't getting paid. I've done the history on the UK's British soldiers, man. And these were men that was 18, 19, young men that died, man, that volunteered to come from Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad, and die for a country that hates them, man. Die for a country that one day will kill their grandkids, man. Die for a country that one day will deport their grandkids, man. If Mark Duggan's granddad ever knew the end result of his grandson, I don't think he'd fight into the army, man.
That's right.
I'm dead serious. If Sean Charles' great granddad ever knew what fighting for this country will get his grandson, he would have never fought for this country, man. If he was only knew, man, what playing for this country would do to him, he wouldn't play for this country, man. Imagine that Raheem Sterling, Rashford, wake up in the morning, eat a good diet, man. Exercise and train for 8 hours a day. just so you can call him a nigger, man. Exercise for your country, man. Exercise and run up and down and do all types of drills and exercise and work their legs and work on their form and their formation. For who? For your country. Just so your country can call him a nigger, man. The same people call him niggas got the biggest of bellies, man. The same people call him niggas drink lager all day. You love England so much. You play for England, man. But you can't. You love the strongbow too much, man. What's one of the strongbow?
Strongbow, dark fruit.
The carbon too much. You can't play for this country, man. Like the nerves call black people niggas, man. Like this, how could you miss that? How could you miss that penalty, man? You couldn't make that penalty, man. You're too busy drinking strongbow, man. And pork scratchings, man. You couldn't do what these brothers do, man. Some cheerleaders, man. Like you said.
And not trying to get into the politics of the game. I don't know if it was a hammer or not, but the last guy to take a penalty, he was young first and foremost, and he had never done a penalty before. Why wouldn't you give it to someone who's more experienced? It's like as if they wanted the black players to take the back fall if they didn't win. You know what I'm saying? Because in some games in the past, a white player, he's let them down. And it's like, in case England does lose, we'll just let them have it. So if they win, good. But if they don't, well, listen, fuck them, you know what I mean?
So things happen, man. Games get lost. It happens, man. Why are black people to blame, man? It's a luck, yeah. You know what I mean? Things happen. Boris Johnson killed off half of your population, man. That's the person you should be mad at. Boris Johnson said, let the bodies pile, man. Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock didn't have enough ventilators for his own country, man. Matt Hancock is the reason why your elderly grandmother was gasping for air and died, man. Matt Hancock was the reason why they had to shut down ice rinks to put dead bodies in there. And shut down big stadiums to power bodies in there, man. Is there anybody you should hate him? Hate Boris, man. Boris opened up the borders and the country went ready. And the numbers went back up again, man. Boris opened up the country for Christmas. Just for Christmas, man. Turkey and black pudding got people killed, man. Got your grandparents killed. Boris did that, man. Tony Blair crippled the country, got the country broke, man. David Cameron and Theresa May is the reason why Brexit happened, man. And why England can't get a Brexit deal, man. If you want to hate anybody, hate these people, man. So like a penalty just don't add up. So like your grandma dead, missed the penalty. It's mad how you hate the man that missed the penalty, man.
That's right.
Your country's broke, missed the penalty. And you hate the black man that missed the penalty, man. That's because you give me that one, man. I'm gonna show you why, man, about the perpetual hatred.
What is he?
This is why, black man. You drop your email for now, sure. Any questions, let me know, type me or
Ezekiel 35.
I
got it. Ezekiel 30. Yeah. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because
do verse 4, Uncle Shaw.
Ezekiel 35 and 4. I will lay thy cities waste.
And this is the Lord speaking about the Edomites, man, the oppressor. Right about now, the cities are nice and built in England and the Buckingham Palace and the Eiffel Tower and the Tower of Pisa. Everywhere they draw, the cities are nice and glorious and big, man. Off the backs of black people. But the days coming, black man, when the cities are going to be wasted, man. Their cities are going to look like how your neighborhoods look now. You walk through black neighborhoods, you walk through Chapeltown and Kingston and Brixton. What do you see? Abandoned buildings, man. You see, what's with abandoned buildings, man? Why is there no glass in the window, man?
Everyone's kids smashed it.
They open the window with no glass, man. All man can see a dark hole in the glass. And guess what? That's going to be your oppressor, man. One day, Buckingham Palace is going to have no glass in there, man. They'll be all dark in there, man. The Tower of Pisa, same thing, man. The Eiffel Tower, same thing, man. Statue of Liberty, same thing. Their cities are going to look how our cities look like, how our ends look like, man. We're too comfortable living in ends. We've got tower blocks and pissy elevators, man. and dark alleyways, man. The days coming when that's where they're gonna live, man. They're gonna live in the dark alleyways, man. They're gonna live with the pissy elevator, man, and the abandoned buildings. The Lord is gonna make their cities desolate. Keep it in.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And that's when you're gonna know that He is God. That's when you're gonna know. You know, when something happens that's impossible, that's when you know that's God, man. When you see a man up here, and the one day he's living in the slums, you say, damn, that must be the Most High, man. When we was in Egypt picking cotton and cane, and the Egyptians were the strongest empire on the face of the earth, and the one day the same slaves killed their the oppressors, you were supposed to see that and say, yo, that has to be God, man. How can these men with no education, man? How can these men with no what military skills, man? These slaves kill their oppressors, man. That must be God. And the day when you see the oppressor got tanks, missiles, what's it called? Intergalactic space weapons and space stations. When you see him cutting cane and picking cotton on black people who are on drugs, black people who don't know who their father is, black people who can't get it together, got no black businesses. When you see black people ruling over these people, when you see a poor black man with no father ruling over a man that got spatial intellectual weapons, you're gonna say that must be God. So like, yeah. What else could it be? When you see a black man that just yesterday couldn't kick a weed habit, man, is a future slave owner of the world, you say, listen, that had to be God, man. When you see an oppressor, man, that can blow up a whole country by the push of a button, man, saying, Master, how much, Master, how long till I finish working, man? The same man that used to chase us around the ends of the junction, asking us, Master, how long do I have to work like this, man? You're going to say, that must be God, man. That's impossible right there, man. Read the Bible, man. The Bible is all about the impossible, man. When you see a giant get killed by a boy with a stone, listen, that's God right there. So, yeah, has to be, man. When you see 5 nations killed by one nation that's fresh out of slavery, come on, man. And when you see the I.S.U.P.K, man, listen, that has to be God, man.
That's right.
When you see a nation full of roadmen, man, a nation full of men that ain't got the best literacy skills, pick up the Bible and break it down to the T, man, people, that has to be God, man. I see these brothers read the Bible and break it down, yeah, it means this, this means that, and this word means this, and you look in the Strongs, and also in history, this lines up with this, and that has to be God, man. And these same brothers were told in school that they'll be nothing. These brothers were kicked out of school in year 7 and year 8 and 9, man. These brothers ain't got no diploma, ain't got no PhD, man, but can read the Bible better than any theologian, man. That's the Most High working right there, man. And the Lord said, you will know that I have done this when you see Esau on the bottom, the oppressor on the bottom. Keep it in.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
And the reason why the Lord's going to bring our oppressor down is what?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
And these oppressors have a perpetual hatred against black people, man. The hatred is deep amongst black people, man. Your prime minister is killing your elderly, but guess what? Somehow you find time to hit us. The East Indian man, the Pakistani man, is blowing up the country, man. He's blowing up the country with the 7/7 bombing, but somehow you find time to hit us. All the black people are tearing down statues. All they're taking a knee. All the black people are such a problem. Listen, don't worry about the knee, man. How about you worry about all the Asian rapist grooming gangs in North England, man, in Yorkshire? These Asian men are raping your kids, man. The Asian men are raping your kids, and it's a fact. But guess what? You have a perpetual hatred against black people, man. Even though they're raping your kids, like black people, man. I can't tell them black people. They're taking the knee. We're taking the knee while what? The Asians are raping your kids, man. Like that movie, Don't Be a Menace, when they're watching the black people so much that the white man's stealing under their nose. That's black people. You watch us take your knee, like the Asian men are raping your kids, man. You watching us taking the knee. Meanwhile, Boris is killing all your grandkids, man. Killing all your grandparents, man. Killing all your elderly. You're booing us because we're tearing down statues, man, in central London. Meanwhile, Matt Hancock ain't got enough ventilators, man. You're watching the wrong people. And likewise, black man. Likewise, you hate black people so much. You hating Raheem Sterling for missing a penalty, man. Missing a penalty, man. Meanwhile, You got Romanians in your country and they don't want to work, taking all your jobs, and some of them don't want to work under dole. You got Polish in your country, but guess what? You're too busy supporting black people, man. Black people that actually want to work, man. Black people that come to your country and play for your football team, man. Black people that come to your country and fight in World War I and II. Well, your mind's elsewhere, man. So like I said.
Yeah, just as back of that, the brother D-Dubs pretty much said the same thing, that with that manager at Southgate, it's like it gave the black players last so that it can fall on them. Like, you know what I mean? He loves to give the white men the glory, but with this time where it was tight, all of a sudden, yeah, you like take chances.
I think it's so happened. You know what I'm saying? Like all the black players in the school. I think it happened. You know what I'm saying? I it would make like these black players. Like, did it on purpose, man. So happened. The players that missed was black, man. So lucky, man. Why when we was winning? Why was that nigga? Why was it we niggas when we won the first goal and the second goal and the third match and the fourth match? Why were we niggas then, man? Why were we niggas now? Anyway, I drop back to the article. So okay.
All right. Accommodated growing large numbers of volunteers from British Guyana and the islands of the Caribbean, including Jamaica, St. Lucia, Trinidad, and Barbados. By the end of World War I, 16 soldiers from the BWIR had been decorated for their bravery.
Actually, they don't ever speak about this, man. They don't speak about this. When they speak about black people, they don't speak about the bravery we done. When they speak about black people, they don't speak about what we got into the final. They speak about how we lost in the game. They don't speak about how much we won the war for them. Now. What do they speak about when it comes to black people? The immigrants. All them yardies, all them yardies. So if I read other yardies on Wikipedia, I got it. Them yardies are coming with their drugs. They're marrying women and they don't want to work, and these yardies, man. That's what they say about Jamaicans, man. You know what I mean? Don't call them Jamaicans, they call them yardies. Yardies has like quite a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they don't say, oh, these kids, the kids of the Windrush that built this place, man. They don't say that. They say yardies. I don't sound familiar. It's like the same with World War I. After World War I and II, you come to the country, man, to build it, man. And they didn't say, you know what? These brave people, man, let's give them a job. Oh, these immigrants. Oh, these Windrush. Oh, these black people, man. And likewise, these people are the kids of people that built built the underground, man. Built the NHS. And their children ain't brave no more. Somehow their children became yardies, man. Yeah,
that's pretty true.
No, that's all.
All right, we got from the Wikipedia, yardies. United Kingdom. During the 1950s, the British government encouraged immigration to the country to fill existing job vacancies.
Look at that, man. You got job vacancies that you needed us, man. You needed us. England was on his knees, needed some job vacancies. And who's more hardworking than black people, man? No one is, man. No one is, man. And don't tell me I'm being racist. Listen, I've been working a very long time, man. I've been slaving a very long time. I've never seen no one much hardworking than black people, man. Curtis Walker had a joke. I was laughing it up, man. Something like, white people complain about black people taking jobs. He goes, they didn't want to work, man. He goes, white people were driving no red bus. They're like, what? That big red bloody thing, y'all ain't driving that thing, man. And black people said, y'all do. Black man, he goes, black people, we work so hard. We even catch a man that tries to get on the bus for free, man. We're like, oh, you get here, man. We love our job, man. We work the hardest. Remember that saying back in the day? Back in the day, we used to try to scam the boss, man. And if it was a black driver, say, nah, I don't, man. We know the black driver takes the job serious, man. Ain't no hard working people more than black people, man. Black man will run down a man that tries to get on the bus for free, man. A black man will run down a man trying to get the train for free, man. A black ticket inspector, forget about it, man. He's doing the job the best. And they say black people are lazy, man. We do the jobs you didn't want to do, man. Likewise today, man. All these jobs with missing teeth, football hooligans, they do not want to work, man.
That's right.
They sit back collecting dough and then complain. Oh, black men take your jobs. The post taking the job. You didn't want to work it anyway, man. That job been available. It's been available on
Gov.uk.
Indeed, man. On Gumtree and on the Thursday paper. Why was it taken? You think the employer was waiting for a Romanian man to come? He's waiting for you, man. You do what job? Now you want to complain, man. Keep it in.
Within the Caribbean community, new arrivals from Jamaica were sometimes referred to as yardies due to the reference of Jamaica as backyard.
So the yardie means home. So the concept of yard is because they come from back home. It's like you're accusing.
A large influx of inner city Jamaican immigrants to Britain during the 1980s led to the rise of gang violence.
Look at that, man. This is what they want to talk about. When they speak about Jamaicans coming in the 80s, they want to talk about look what happens when the blacks come down here. There's a rise of gang violence, man. A rise of gang culture. When no one speaks about how about when we came in the 50s, man? Wasn't there a rise of jobs? Wasn't there a rise of what? The underground. Wasn't the underground fixed? Was the NHS built? But nobody wants to speak about that. They speak about when bad things happen, man. They don't speak about when we brought them to the semi-final. What they want to speak about when we lost in the final. You feel me? They don't say black people brought to the finals. They don't speak about that. But they want to speak about black people lost the finals, man. They don't speak about black people building the country, but they want to speak about black people tearing it down. They don't speak about black people building England, but black people tearing down statues, they're taking a knee. That's what they want to speak about, man. Keep it in.
Or behavior on the part of Jamaicans, which became known in wider British society as yardie culture.
And they call it yardie culture, man. When black man being a thug ain't our culture, man. This is white culture, man. Everything that we do that's considered thuggish and gangsterish is what we learned from our oppressor, man. It isn't our culture, man. They lied to us. Being a gangster is white culture, man. It is, man. Listen, who did the first drive-by, man? Who had the Tommy gun in that black car that looks like a cab, man? Doing the drive-by with the hat on, was that not Bugsy Malone? And Lucky Luciano. What color are they, man? They are white people, man. Before drug dealing, in America, what alcohol was prohibited, man. Like the prohibition area, man. And selling alcohol was what? Selling drugs back then, man. Same thing. You're selling a substance that would get someone high, that was illegal, man. And guess who moved all that bootlegging, man? All that bootlegging, all that alcohol, all that hooch, man. It was the Italians, man. Who are they? White people, man. This is way before the yardies, man. This is way before the yardies, man. Who was king over turf, man? Who had wars with this family versus that family? The Genevieve family versus this family? The oppressor did, man. And now they want to make it like gangs is black culture, man. They had gangs before us, man. When we was in Jamaica struggling for jobs, they was in gangs, man. They were doing drive-bys. They were selling illegal substances, man. They were killing each other. They was in gangs or what they want to call families, which is the same thing, man.
Gang.
They were doing the exact same thing. And they make it like our culture, like we built this. We didn't build it, man. Being a gangster is white culture, man. It's not black culture. Keep it in.
And the participants, yardies, the terms yardie gang or yardie gun violence were largely used by the British media.
There you go, man. That's the Bible goes what? The oppressor is a forger of lies, man. And he loves to use his media to tell his lies, man. That's his main focal point of getting his lies out there, man. I want him to go to America, I'll keep it British, man. He was out there cutting people's faces, man, back then. He said, go watch Peaky Blinders, man. Peaky Blinders is what? A gangster series based where in Brum. And guess what? They're all white, man. And even Peaky Blinders, what are they doing? Gangster activities. They got razors, what? In their hats, man. In their belly, they got razors, man. And they'll walk past you and slice your neck, man. In that movie, what they're bootlegging. In that movie, they're selling drugs, man. And not one black face inside, man. Black men, they've been gangsters long before you came to England, man. Long before you came to England, they were doing gangster activities. And the one they made, like England was so nice until the jihadists came here. It was a brief place. Before the jihadists come, there was no guns, there was no drugs, and when they come, the influx like the influx of guns came here. So what Peaky Blinders about, man? Someone explain to me about the creators, please. Like, tell me, man. The creators, the jihadists came out with man wearing tracksuits and jeans, man. The creators were wearing suits, man. That's way before the jihadists came here. Don't get me wrong, the jihadists in Jamaica, they had their political wars. That's true, man. But they were in England. They didn't ruin England. Someone tell me about the creators, man, please. Someone tell me about the British firm. You meant the British firm?
Yeah, they were after the creators.
So after that?
Yeah.
Who else but the creators part, man? Show me a picture of the Peaky Blinders real quick, man. Cool. And the Peaky Blinders ain't just a show, man. It's a real life thing, man. It's a luck, yeah. Just like when you watch the movie of Goodfellas, it's a movie about a real man that exists, man. And the Peaky Blinders is about a real gang that existed in Birmingham, man. Give me the picture of all them devils walking together, man.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Alright, fair enough. The through and mixed race guy in there, you know what I mean? Try to make it look authentic.
But that's not historical.
So look at that, man. All of them are gangsters, man. If that's one of them, in fact, could you find out where the Peaky Blinders dates to? You could.
Yeah.
If that's one, look at the car in the background, man. Let's go back to the 30s, man. This is going way back.
This one?
Yeah, go on.
So we got Peaky Blinders TV series. You want the history behind it?
Give me a date on it. Just say like based in boom, boom, boom. What else more? Bit more.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that, man. What if you read that for me, please, Bob? Sure.
Alright, overview. Peaky Blinders is an epic following of a gangster family.
A what family?
Gangster family.
A what family?
Gangster family.
Oh, you're talking about gangsters here, man. So surely they're mention the Yardis. Surely they're mention black people, because you know we're the only gangsters out there. You know we're the only gangsters. We're the only people that kill people. So let's read about the gangsters in England, because you know what I mean. Leave it to the oppressor. Black people are the first gangsters, man. Black people are the only gangsters. So let's read about the gangster family in England, man.
Of Irish travelers.
Hold on, who are these gangsters?
Irish travelers.
See, me tell me the gangsters in England that were not Yardis. But I thought Yardis brought the influx of gangsterism. I thought Yardis brought the gun crime and the drug selling and the weed dealing. So you mean tell me before Yardis came to England, there was already gangs? That could only mean one thing, man. The oppressor lied to us, man. There's gangsters in England that predates us even coming to England, man. And guess what? They were Jamaican. They were what?
Irish travelers.
Yeah.
Or Romanian origin.
So hold on, the either Romanian origin or the Irish, neither of those are Jamaican, man. Neither of those are West Indian, man. But guess what, black man? We get the blame for being the gangsters, man. We get the blame for being the gangsters. The Irish don't get the blame. The Romanians don't get the blame, but we do. We came in the 60s with our gold chains and our BMWs and our loud, what was going to scare them crew. What was some braids like back in the day? You stick up braids and scare them crew braids, man. And we get slack for all of it, man. Meanwhile, guns was already being bought in England, man, long before we came here, man. Drugs was being sold in England long before we came here. We get all the slack, man.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Set in Birmingham, England. In 1919.
What? 40 years before we came here. The gangsters were already here. 40 years before we stepped foot on this island, man. Gangsters were already here, man. And they was already shooting people. They was already extorting people. They was already selling drugs. They was already harming people long before we came to this place, man.
That's right.
So how dare you say, well, the influx went up? The influx been going up, man. How can we raise the influx of gangsterism when we're the minority? It's not, sir.
No, and what he's saying is heavy, and General Muhammad said it on the scripture breakdown class. The hate for us unifies white people.
That's right.
Because when we're not here, they will fight each other. The Irish will fight the Romanians, the British will fight the Romanians. But because of their mutual hate for us, that unifies them.
That's right. That's true. Back in the day, it was no Dubs, no blacks, no Irish. And it came to a point where the Irish and the British said, you know, I hate niggas, man. You know what? I hate niggas too, man. You get it up to you. And guess what? Now both of them hate black people, man. now, where's the Irish? The same Irish that was in the ghetto with us. Where are they now? No, sweat, man. Sure? Alright, cool. Go on. No, sweat, man. And like what General Muhammad said, the hate for black people unifies people, man. People hate black people so much that they'll come together and just hate us. The Irish was in the ghetto with black people, both of them in the ghetto, man. And we thought, yeah, man, make the Irish real one, because they're being oppressed like us. And now, where are the Irish now, man? I don't see the Irish in my ghettos, man. I don't see them in my neighborhoods. I don't see them suffering. Same with the Pakistanis, man. They're like, yeah, we're one, bro, yeah, man, because you know what I mean, the oppressor hates us both. And where are they now, man? Owning their shops and, you know, doing big things, man. I don't hate them for it, man. You need to love your people. But black man, you gotta love your people also. I know that guess what? All this is a hustle, man. They ain't out there to love us. They ain't out there for us. We only got each other, man. All we got is ourselves. We can't mix with nobody else and join allies with anybody else. All we got is ourselves, man. And leave it to them. They'll make lies and say, we're the gangsters, we're the this, we're the crooks. We ain't the crooks, man. This ain't our culture. They make out like gang culture is black culture, man. Long before you came to England, black people, these oppressors been doing gang culture, man. Go watch an episode of Peaky Blinders, man. Go watch an episode of the Mafia and the Mob and the Cray Twins, man. They've been doing it long before us, man. Extortion, killing, bootlegging, drug dealing. They've been doing it long before we have, man. From slavery times, man. Bootlegging was drug dealing back in the day, and they were doing it, man, when we was cutting cane. So don't make it like it's black culture. It's not. What is black people ain't got no culture, so we go around trying to find other people's culture.
That's
As we're doing that, we pick up their stuff, man. And all the bad stuff to say, yeah, that's you. You invented that. So yeah, you guys invented that. We didn't invent it, man. What's up, sir? Any more?
On the artists?
Yeah, cool.
Alright, Peaky Blinders. In England in 1919, several months after the end of the First World War, in November 1918.
1918? Look how far back that goes, man. Damn. Listen, I think 1918, my great grandmother was born, man. I mean, serious? My grandma was born in times, man. And when she was born, coming out of her mom's room, these man here was selling drugs and doing all types of stuff, man. Any more of that, just goes into it a bit.
Let me see. Yeah, the story centers on the Peaky Blinders gang and their ambitious and highly cunning boss, Tommy Shelby.
And you know, so let me tell you something, man. They always tell you, oh, black people glorify gang culture. Oh, you glorify. Let me tell you something. In Birmingham City Centre, the pub called the Peaky Blinders, man. The pub called the Peaky Blinders, man. Raheem Sterling got a gun tattoo in his leg. And they say, no, you can't have that. You're glorifying badness. You got a pub called the Peaky Blinders, man. And spray paint on that pub is the members of Peaky Blinders, man. You go to Dale End right now in Birmingham City Centre, man, right opposite the car park, man, right opposite the McDonald's, and you see the pub Peaky Blinders, man. Meanwhile, Raheem Sterling gets a gun tattoo, and oh my God, he's glorifying. It's not like one. You get the tattoo of because it's there. I'm gonna show you something, man. I'm gonna show you what a hypocrite is, man. So luck, yeah. They're allowed to be proud. Black people hate, man. How is it a man can get a tattoo of anything? People get tattoos of skull. People get tattoos. You got punks, man, and gospels tattoos of skull and bones. And no one goes, oh, you're glorifying death. You're glorifying death, man. Look what you're doing. No. But when he's doing this, a gun tattoo on his leg. And which the sin, man, you all tattoos are sin, man. And you got something to say, man. That's cool. It don't matter what a black man does. Look at that, man. The whole government got him in Sterling having an AK-47 on his leg, man. Got him in. Meanwhile, give him the power Peaky Blinders. So Raheem Sterling is wrong for glorifying gang culture, and then you're wrong for doing this, man. So you get the real populace in I think Dale anything is D-A-L-E. You see it before now?
No,
He's in the pub.
I probably haven't.
You walk past it a million times, man. See that?
Oh yeah, I know
that.
that. I know that.
You know where HMV is in there? Right there, man. Look at that.
But HMV was it?
That's not no more.
Nah, HMV's
Well,
old.
no one knows what HMV is. What streams are in it?
Yeah, that's dated.
Look at that, man. You're from Brum, man. You can't miss this pub, man. Look at that, man. You got the man's face spray painted the Peaky Blinders. Ain't this glorifying madness? Ain't this this is what you call glorifying gang culture, man. A pub that anyone can go to. You said if you're from any part of England, man, you can come and have a good pint at this pub, man. That is glorifying madness, man. The Peaky Blinders is not a gang of charity workers, man. They ain't church boys, man. They're people that kill people, and you can have a good lager, man, in Dale End rum, man, at their pub. That is glorifying gang culture.
That's
man.
right.
That's glorifying gang culture right there, man. Drop that anyway. Give me Rashford real quick. I thought I had to tab open.
Oh.
I have to give you food in that.
Okay. Yeah. Boom. Right. All right. From the Guardian.com, Marcus Rashford, the making of a food superhero. Coaches, charity workers, and the footballer himself reveal what drives the man who's twice tackled Boris Johnson on child hunger and won.
Hold on, stop there. So, you mean tell me there's kids starving in your country, and this man's feeding them, and your prime minister ain't feeding them, and you got the nerve to fix your mouth and call him a nigger? When this nigger feeds your white kids, man, this nigger feeds your oppressive kids, man. Send them to school with packed lunches when your prime minister wouldn't do it, man. And because he missed a goal, you got the nerve to fix your face and call him a black monkey and a black bastard. That's how disgusting your people are, man. This same black monkey that missed a penalty feeds your kids, man, when your prime minister wouldn't do it. Feed your kids when your prime minister was giving out what? Water. What was he giving out again?
Water, bread,
and cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Giving out water, bread, and cheese, man. And Rashford, out of his own pocket, man, that he worked for, was giving them a decent lunch, man. A decent lunch with the right things in a packed lunch, man. What was he giving out again? Giving out bottled water, what's that?
Yeah, some bottled water, orange juice, milk. Like
no, what was the government giving out?
Oh, just it was a bottle of water, a bread, just like a block of a bread with the cheese and a potatoes or just something that was not relevant.
You got the nerve. And guess what? 100 years from now, they'll never speak about this, man. They're gonna put in history how the niggas cost us the euros, but they're never gonna speak about the niggas fed our children, man. They will never speak about that, man. And that's why in history we always paint as the bad people. Always the bad people. Like with Nero, man. With the emperor in Roman time, that's what black people burnt down Rome. We never, man. Blame it on black people, man. And it's always been that way from the beginning of time, man. Keep it in.
Show me a child at 7, and I will show you the man, the old wisdom says. But in football terms, you never know, not really, which kids are going to make it as players at that age.
See, I didn't paragraph. Keep going. Yeah, you can have it. No, this is it. Keep going. Keep going. It seems like this article racist too, man. So okay, the article's about it's about Rashford feeding kids. I can't see nothing about feeding kids in this, man. Everybody's trying to just tarnish this man. So luck, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, you could be that.
All right. Marcus reflex response to hearing news that schools were closing.
So Marcus Rashford heard that schools were closing. This is the whole pandemic. Schools were closing. You know, money was tight. They couldn't really give kids they couldn't give kids school meals because, you know what I mean, money was tight and whatnot. And parents couldn't work, but had to send their kids to school, don't watch the kids and whatnot. And one footballer, one person, man, that worked hard for money, didn't rob nobody, didn't kill like the Peaky Blinders. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna help feed these kids, man. Black kids, no. He fed all kids, man. Black people are the most loving, kind people on the face of the earth. We don't see color, man. We just want to help everybody. And your people act so humble and calm and nice. Meanwhile, you hate black people just because they lost a free kick, man. Just because they missed a penalty shootout, man. You didn't see Raheem Sterling as a man. You saw a black man that missed a penalty, man. Meanwhile, Rashford, he didn't see hungry black kids. He didn't see hungry Chinese kids. He saw hungry children and wanted to feed them all, man. Had God blessed him with more money, he would have fed every single one of them. You know why? Because black people are loving and kindness, man.
That's right.
The oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, man.
Right.
He hates black people as a perpetual hatred towards black people, man. Keep it in.
Hearing the news that schools were closing was, what are the kids going to eat?
And this man is a footballer, man. This man is not an MP. He's not Matt Hancock. He's not the House Secretary. He's a footballer. And you know what this footballer said? Well, what are these kids going to eat, man? Black kids, no. Chinese kids, no. All kids, man. He said, what are these kids going to eat, man? Meanwhile, your Prime Minister was getting married, man. Your Prime Minister was what? Getting redecorating his 10 Downing Street flat with what? £500 wallpaper, a 500 what? Parole wallpaper, man. This man took money out of his own pocket to feed the people the Prime Minister would feed. The Prime Minister was getting what? 500 parole wallpaper for his flat and didn't care about his own kids, man. But a black man did. And you know what these people said? After he missed the free kick, oh, look at these monkeys, man. But this monkey fed your kid, man. Boris Johnson with the shadow haircut didn't give a damn about your kids, and it's his job to care. Rashford's job is to play football, man. That's all his job ain't to care, and he cared more than your Prime Minister would, man.
That's right.
And how dare you fix your face and say anything wrong about a man like this, man? You must be the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You must be the devil the Bible speaks of. The man that you employ to care don't care, and the man that says, "I'll play football." I don't know, but he took money out of his own pocket, man. He wasn't getting £500 a roll wallpaper. He wasn't decorating his flat. He wasn't going to the islands with his fiance at that time. He was helping feed your kids, man. And because we miss you a penalty, you got the nerve to say, spit on a nigga, get 5 points. Slap a nigga, get 10 points. That game should have said, bow down to a nigga, man. And become a slave to a nigga, man. That's what that game should have said.
That's right.
Like General Mohammed said, we're the best service, man. We served you for too long, man. And guess what? Someone like you can't serve, man. Someone like you should have been in a ruling position. Someone like Marcus Rashford should be, man. That's why black people are going to be in that position. That's why God said we're going to rule, because we're the right people to rule, man. We're merciful. You know, we got a nice heart. We love all people, and that's why we should rule. And your people are cruel, man. Cruel and hateful and devils, man. And that's why you shouldn't rule, man. That's why you're not going to rule. That's why you're going to be in the cane fields while we're going to be ruling, man.
That's right.
Someone like that shouldn't be ruling. An unjust man shouldn't be ruling, man. Black people, the most kind of people, someone like that should rule, man. And that's why the Lord wants us to rule.
That's right.
The Lord saw something in us that he didn't see in you, man. Keep it in.
His representative and confidante, Kelly Hogarth, recalls, if they're not at school and breakfast clubs are closed, How are they going to get fed?
And look at this. Boris didn't think about this. Boris was the one that closed the schools. And you know what I mean? Mr. Smart Boris didn't think about this. And a regular black man, you know, probably was 25, you know, he said, yo, so you close the schools. Some of these kids rely on breakfast club. Their parents go to school, their parents go to work early, so they enroll in breakfast club. They can't have breakfast in the morning. How are they gonna eat? Some of these kids have after school club because their parents work late. How are they gonna eat? And Mr. Smart Boris didn't think about this, man. Didn't think about it. And black man said, you know what? Let me feed these kids, man. Because black people are so loving. Black people, we can't see a poor, starving white person, man. We're too nice, man. Somebody in his truth. So Captain Shock, what did Captain Shock say, man? He said you would feed a poor white person, man. After they're feeding black people.
Yeah.
You know why? We're merciful, man. A white man would never, man. Do you know in slavery, oppression only for black people so we could be alive to work in the cave for tomorrow, man. You know, that's what I said. He gave us the guts and the innards just so we got enough energy to pick cotton, man. How did he for him? He would give us nothing, man. He's merciless. We ain't like that, man. We're merciful, man. We are merciful, man. You brothers in this class right now, man, I love black people. And if you saw a person get stomped to death, we will actually call the police, man. We ain't animals. We won't get involved, but we will call the police, man, because we ain't animals like that.
That's right.
Jesus Christ took a demon out of a white girl, man. Why? Because he's not an animal, man. He saw that the woman needed help. He was there at the time. He cost him nothing. You know what? Needed help, man. The oppressor now would watch us die, man. Would watch us rot, man. Would watch us starve to death, man. That's why we need to be in charge, because we're greater than they are, man. Keep it in.
It's lucky. How are they going to get fed? In shorthand, this meant what would lockdown have meant to him at age 7? Rashford directed the energy he usually reserved for training into researching that question.
And look at this, man. This man is doing a job at 8 years. He put aside training and got to work. Started researching how do you get loans and this and that and how do you get food distributed to the schools, man. Meanwhile, the man came down shit did nothing, man.
Hello?
And guess what? I'm gonna show you how racist they are. They didn't even tell Rashford, thank you. You know what they did? They turned around and said, Rashford, how about you figure out who your dad is, man? I'm a liar, sir.
No, that's true.
They said to Rashford, why don't you leave political shit alone and find out who your dad is, man? That's what they said about Rashford. They didn't even give him a thank you, man. Didn't even give him a thank you. They're like, did you think to do my job, man? Who do you think he is? Rashford, you know what? You might want to find out who your father is, man. That's what they said about a black man that helped their country, man. That's why black people should be in charge, man. We're the most merciful, peaceful, loving, kind people on the face of the earth. You talk to a black man about slavery, what the black people say? Well, they ain't all bad. Come on, man, that was in the past, man. You tell the Jewish man about the Nazis, he hates them to this day. Hates them to this day. Locks them up, man. You see old Nazis with a gas tank going to jail, man. They don't care how old you are. Not black people, though. Black people, I believe it, man. It's in the past, man. I'm watching what's called Who Do You Think You Are? Mm-hmm. Who Do You Think You Are? The show where they go into your great granddad and research him. And they did it on Jerry Springer, man. Remember Jerry Springer? Mm-hmm. The Jewish man. And they showed Jerry Springer some, Nazi photos. And he was pissed. Look at this guy, man. He even looks mean. Jerry Springer didn't let nothing go. Well, black people are the only ones saying, you know what, it was in the past, man. The slave masters didn't know no better, man. White people didn't know no better. But it was legal at the time. You can't really fault them for that, man. You can't really fault them for that. Meanwhile, Jerry Springer didn't say that, man. You watch it, man. Jerry Springer didn't say that. He was still mad at the Nazis, man. Anyway, drop that. Give me a book of Esther real quick.
Yeah, in the park for
Nah, the one about Mordecai. So I'm gonna show you how they feel, man. When you don't bow down to them, they hate you, man. When you don't, like I said earlier, when you don't bow down to them, when you don't honor them and love them and kiss their feet, they're angry, man. Let me tell you something. A black man don't have to hate an oppressor. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that the oppressor hates you if you hate him. You don't have to love him. That's enough for him to hate you. You don't have to hate him, but just say, I don't love you, and that's enough. He'll say, why don't you love me? You should love me. He will force you to love him. Mm-hmm. And that happened in the Bible also, man. If you're a black man and you say, listen, I just don't support nobody but black businesses, you are racist. Something is wrong with you, man. You don't even hate oppressors. You just don't love them. That's not good enough. You must love them, man. And we're gonna get that. That's ancient, man. It's in the Bible. I'll show you the old Benjamite man called Mordecai, man. Maradachia. And there was an Edomite called Haran. And he hated his brother for that same reason, man. Let me get it real quick. And let me, at the back of that, like I was saying earlier as well, look at how black people dress, man. Black people dress, you know, what they call street culture. Listen, nowadays, everybody dresses how you dress, man. The other day I saw a man fresh from, I'm not sure, Turkey or something, man. Couldn't speak English. And he was dressed like how you dress, like down to the T, man. Now that I see white women dressed like black women, man. With the 2 braids in their hair and this. I saw a black woman, I saw a white woman with a headscarf, man. With a bonnet at the front. So what they were coming to you, man. And then 100 years from now, guess what? It's gonna be white culture, man. They're saying we invented this, we invented that. Well, go on. That's how we speak, man. Say it's cool. That's how we speak. Listen, the Africans are already doing it, man. The Africans got the nerve to these black people. Oh, you Jamaicans, man. You don't know your father. Meanwhile, they speak just like us, man. Speak just like us. Say it's like, wow, go on, yeah, man, nigga, man. You know ain't niggas, man. Niggas were term given to slaves, man. You know what slaves. These are sold us and now want to act like us, man. And let me tell you something, black man, the future's looking dread, man. The future's gonna be full of everybody acting black. Guess what? Everything that is black ain't gonna be black no more. It's gonna be standard culture, man. I remember when black people used to wear Air Force Ones, man. Now that everybody wears Air Force Ones, man. So luck, yeah. I remember JD was a black shop.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone shops in JD, man. You go on the website, you see white people modeling them tracksuits, man. You see white rappers with braids now, man. You see white women trying to get hips like black women and lip injection, man. White women get lip injection to mimic the black woman's lips, man. And give it 100 years, it's going to be the norm. It's something we do. No, it's not like black things. Some people want to get lip injection, man. Just like having makeup. Just like having makeup, man. And that's what the world's coming to, man. All nations, man. You live in the ends, like Polish, the Eritrean, all of them want to dress and act like you, man. And don't even give you credit for it, man. They don't even say yes, it's black culture, man. You know, we like it. So there'll be the point where it's just us. Grime, rap, UK rap's gonna be the culture, man. You know, people like H and RD and K Cole say, yeah, it's rappers, man. Let's do black people. Just like today, black people don't get credit for grime, man. Listen, back in the ancient times, not ancient, but back in the 50s, what did people have in Jamaica, man? Turntables and the mic. There's turntables and the mic, man. That's how Ninja Man did it, Cartel did it, man. And then guess what? In the 70s, I'm sorry, man. It's like, yeah. In the 90s, what was jungle music, man? Turntables and the mic. Later on, what was garage, man? Go watch the old garage set, man. Remember the old garage sets? You know what the old garage sets, man, was what? Turntables and the mic, man. That was an old garage sets, man. Then garage became grime, and what was grime? Turntables and the mic. And nobody wants to give black people the credit, man. Everybody got hate talking about, yeah, man, wow, man, and take it over like it is. But no one knows, listen, all these things come from black people. We built this, man. Even the old Gary sets, man, we took to the mic.
I remember that.
I don't think the guys were funny, man. Inside. All the days there, man. And no one wants to give black people their credit, man. They steal from us. And it's scary, man. Trust me, man. Yo, what's up? It's carry on.
Esther 3:2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman.
So Haman was in the time of Esther, the king was what? From East Indian?
Hazaratians.
Yeah, from the East Indian. And he had a white man in his army that was like a big man. Like just like today, in the oppressor's kingdom, there's some big black people in there, man. Like what? David Lammy, who he puts in charge. And likewise, this East Indian king had a white man in his army, in his government, that was a big governor, man. And everybody had to bow down to his governor, man. And I'm showing you how that spirit, that's how white people today was in them back then, man. Like you must ask how they're doing. You must say morning. If you don't say morning to a white person, he got attitude. he got a chip on his shoulder, man. Something's wrong with him, man. That same spirit, man, that you must love him. You must open the door for them. You must love him, man. You can't say, oh, no, I'm not into the white girls. It'll be a problem, man. You can't say that. Me and white people say, no, I like that, it's not nothing. You can say that, they're allowed to say that, man. You can't say the opposite. You'll be racist. They can say, oh, they black lads. You know, okay, fair enough. You can't say, you don't work in reverse, man. You know, it's okay for everyone to diss black people, but black people can't do it in reverse, man. There will be a problem.
That's right.
I remember watching what's that movie called, man? An Indian movie, man. It's a little drama about, I'm paraphrasing, killed by my father or something like that.
Yeah, something.
And in the movie, the guy goes, okay, two Indian men talking, he goes, get your daughter married, man. You know, so-and-so didn't do it, man. She ran off with some black bastard, man. Said it on TV, man. It's okay to insult black people, man. In reverse now, would have been a problem. You can't say that in reverse, but it's okay to diss black people. You can say that, man. And likewise, back then, you couldn't. This king, right here, this man in power, this white man, he wanted all the glory, all the love. You couldn't even not love him. He said, who's this black man not giving me my reference, man? And that's how he did.
Reverence a man, for the king had so commanded concerning him.
And the king commanded that everyone must serve Haman. He said, listen, this is Haman, next in charge. Everyone must reverence him, man. Everyone must give some allegiance, you know, salute him, whatever the case may be, Kieran.
But Mordecai
and Mordecai, Benjamin, man, a brother from the tribe of Benjamin, man, Kieran.
bowed not.
And Mordecai didn't bow down to him, man. You know, y'all black people already, man. You know, you give my dick and say, sorry about this nigga, man. You know what I mean? Didn't bow down to him. Didn't show him no disrespect. Didn't show him no disrespect. Just said, I ain't bowing down to you, man. And that's enough. That's enough for the oppressor to kill you, man. That's enough for the police to pull you over. If you're a black man driving past the police, you must be scared. And if you drive past them confidently, they are going to pull you over. They see, I'm a policeman with a badge. Nigga, you better show some respect, man. You better drive past me and turn your volume down like you're scared, man. Even if you got a license, show some respect, man. Show some fear. Or I'll pull you over. How do I know? Happened to me, man. Happened to me, man. The night summer day, me and Pressure was riding for the ends, man. I'm licensed, tax insured, the whole nine, man. And I had the nerve to overtake a policeman that'll take you too long, man. And they pulled us over and wasted time, man. So luck, yeah. It never felt so nice as the other one. It felt beautiful, man. Pulled us over, you got license? Nah, I don't. No, so it goes, you got license on you, I don't. I don't want my license, man. Let him do some work and go in his car, you know, go in the machine. What's the machine called again?
The Volza,
the machine name for the machine, man. This database. Had to let me go, man. Why? They think all black people that drive are scared and this, and you know what I mean, something wrong with them. They thought, let's pull me. This means for the other, man. Overtaking us, man. Blazing loud music and a hot summer's day, man. You know what? They got no tax, no something wrong with that car. We're gonna find out, man. And we're gonna teach them that you never overtake us, man. You gotta know your place. And they found out, listen, nothing you can do to us, man. It ain't a crime to ban loud music. You're driving too slow, officer, man. I had to overtake you, man. So luck, yeah. You don't be taking too slow, man. Had to overtake you, man. Listen, I can stay behind you. You know who stays behind police? Black people, they ain't got no license, man. Black men that got weed in the car, man. Black men, you and a criminal, it's so beautiful, man. Nobody can tell you done anything wrong, man. You get to walk around with your chest high, man. You get to watch a policeman go back in his car and shut that door, man, with his head down, man. And all that happened while we served the Lord. And we didn't have no blunts on us, no splits on us, no zoots. Our tax insurance was all in date, and they could do nothing to us, man. And that was glorious, man. That was glorious, man. So like I said.
No sweat. Nor did reverence him.
Nor did reverence him. He said, oh, Mordecai, the great Hammond, good Hammond. Be good. Yeah, good. Oh, you're right, cool, man. Yeah, but this Hammond, okay, cool. The Hammond, yeah, man, you're good, man. And that's the spirit in all the oppressors, man. They want to be reverence. Listen, in America, they had something called a laughing bucket, man. Had a laughing bucket. With a black man wanted to laugh, he had to put his head in a barrel to laugh, man. A white man says, I'm white, I don't want to even see you laugh. Imagine how that must feel as a white man, that you're a poor bum of a white man, you're nobody, but when this nigga laughs, he has to put his head in the bucket, man, because I'm somebody. That makes him feel nice, man. Like, listen, if you want to even laugh, you got to put your head in a bucket, man. That's the spirit they have on them. Even a poor one that don't own slaves, man, one that works for a slave owner, even he gets to feel, oh, yeah, man, feels nice. And that's what these oppressors feel, man. How dare these black men feed kids, man? That's my job. Who do they think they are? Go play ball, man. Go play ball. How dare you do my job, man? How dare you even think that you can do my job? My job's too high for you, man. I'm MP, man. And when you do their job better than them, they are angry, man. Now, what made him think he could even be a prime minister? What made him even think that? Who do you think he is, man? And that's the same spirit in the oppressors today. If you don't even reverence them, there's a problem. God forbid you take a knee. You make your knee touch the grass, man, at the beginning of a game. Who the fuck does he think he is? How dare he put his knee on the grass while they're singing God Save the Queen? That's the spirit that they got in them, man. Keep it in.
Then the king's servants, which were in the gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
And all of them like, yo, why you going against what the king said, man? The king's reverencing him, man. You're not reverencing him. You're not bowing down, man. And Mordecai's like, yeah, man, I don't know, let me, man. Like, police officers, forget about it. Police officers, they should be, reverencing. No officer, this officer, no officer. Listen, we don't treat officers like that, man. We don't beg them, man. If you're black, man, you're speeding, and a police officer pulls you over, listen, take your beating, man. What do you mean beating? Like, not little beating. Take it, man. He pull you over, listen, take it. So, okay, cool, all right. You drive, man. Do not beg him, man. This is what we're reading right here. Well, please, officer, no, I didn't know. Well, now I'm trying to come to my house. I won't do it again, man. That's what they love, man. That's in the spirit right here. They want you to reverence them, man. You was speeding, you was wrong. Take your punishment and bounce, man. He pulls you over, you was speeding. Okay, all right, yeah. So we're gonna say this in the post, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, all right. Gonna go now. You go, man. Do not beg him, man. Do not beg him. You was wrong. You got punished, and that is it, man. Do not beg him. That's what they want, man. Well, okay, go on. Let me catch you do it again. Do not give him that love, man. It's like it's a.
Now, one example. You know what I mean? I was in the wrong. I was driving it, and my seatbelt was on. So you know what I mean. So they wanted me to pull over. So I did, and I never begged. And they come over. So is there any excuse why you're not driving seatbelt? I said no, but now you know what I mean. I was really meant to, but I'm not. And it's like, okay, I have to issue a fine. Like, oh, okay, then. So I gave my license number, you know what I mean, and all that. And then like it was shocked. And then before he left, he goes, I wish that more people was as calm as you. And I laughed, well,
Yeah, he's just begging and begging. I'm calm, man. Listen, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. My blood, man. Okay. He wants that begging shit. He ain't a big nobody, man. I made a mistake. Cool, give me the punishment, man. You know what I'm saying? He's walking towards your car. My hands at the windows, like, yeah, give him a fine, man. You know what I mean? What's your name? Boom, 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 boom. What's your address? Back. It puts in the system, my license pops up. You know what I mean? We don't have to walk the license in the UK. And that's it, man. Okay, cool. So you get, let me go. All right, cool. Later. Zoom, that's it, man. I'll make it over. And Hammond had the right spirit right there, man. Not Hammond, like Mordecai was in the right spirit right there, man. He bound down to the oppressor, man. You got to hate them. No, listen, you got to hurl abuse at them. And say, F you, no, you have to. But don't give me your soul either, man.
That's right.
Don't give me your soul, man. You go to a job interview, man, and you tell them your credentials, don't beg them, man. You tell them, listen, like, experiencing this, in that, my team, whatever lies you may say, don't beg them, man. Don't beg them for the job. No, please, I can't prove myself. You gotta improve myself. Give me 1 bit, I'll prove myself. I'll show you that I'm good for the job. Don't, man. Don't beg them, man. So no once you get that job, you get it, man. I'm not saying go there and leave in the chair. No, man. Obviously, at interview, you gotta let them know what you're
capable of,
man. You tell them your experience and whatever the case may be, your qualifications. You're not begging no oppressor, man. And that's what they hate. They love when black people beg them to the point that like, black man don't. Like, who the hell does he think he is? This man was born to beg. It's a non-begging nigga. What? Where did he come from? This one don't know his place, man. He will say.
Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence, then Haman was full of wrath.
And look at that, man. This old person was angry because one black man went 7. Because one, and that's how they see it, man. That's how they see it. They say, all black people love oppressors, man. And there's one group of black people that don't, and they're in UPK. And oppressors don't say, well, you know, I can't be mad that you hate me. They want to make the UPK love them too. And they call our shows, try to confound us, and try to block our YouTube channels. They jump on our posts, they jump on our live stream and try to diss us and, you know, insult us. Why? Because we have 3 black men that don't love them, man. And that's the spirit in them. They want all black people to love them, man. With that, I hand the class over to Priest and Prophet, Captain of 10,000, with the announcements and the prayers.
That was a powerful class. Give an officer Prophet a hand. Yes, pass me the announcements over there. You pass me the announcements over there. No, sir. All right. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA, ruled for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department of Teacher. Priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations in September. That's what I do know. You know, keep it there. All Akim and Aquaf, check the bulletin board in the hallway and check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves, something that I Madiam, they're going to rise and face the east. And the Lord's Prayer, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawo, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafinawa, Wala'ah, Kabaya'ayinawa, Wanasayawan, Abod, Hawashaynawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahafapara, I will love you, Aman.
In English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
So with that, we're going to give the teacher one courtesy salute. Good. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Barak Atah,
Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai Barak Atah.
Yad Yom Atah, class dismissed.